Hello world, and welcome to the Common Sense Man's News and Talk Show here on this Tuesday, November 6, 2018, Election Day, midterms election day. Here it is, what we all been waiting for, the big day. It's the top news on everything. We're just going to barely discuss it because we'll let you move on to your voting. But this is a show where we discuss news from different news sources on the internet and discuss it in a common sense way, like the election. We should be discussing it right now. Call in 805-994-0606 or email me commonsenseman@gmail.com. That's common with a K, if that's a K. And let's get this show going. So we're going to start with news. Fox News, we're just going to pretty go with the headlines because we know what it's all about. It's all about the elections. With Fox News, it's tripping up Trump. There's a picture of Trump and two other people next to him. I don't know who they are, actually. That's bad. Dems' stealth strategy to block president's agenda even without control of the House or Senate. There's an article on that if you want to read that. Whatever. Moving over to CNN. Two Americas are on a collision course. As Americans head to the polls today, the results could be a divided message. And of course, this is basically all based on this. The reason for all this division is really, in my opinion, is the President Trump, because he is not a leader. A leader would try to unite people. He does not do that. He actually makes them further and further apart. He's just not a leader. It's just straight up, Trump is not a leader. I don't know about some of the decisions he makes. They may be good economically. I don't know. That I'm not privy to. But what I do know is he is not a leader. Moving over to stock market. CNBC, here's what every major Wall Street firm expects from the election and how to play it. So if you're interested in that, to see what like Bank of America and stuff say to do if whoever wins, blah, 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 there you go. You can check that out on CNBC. USA Today, problems at the polls. Here's what's happening at voting sites now. It's obviously going to be overwhelmed because we're having more voters than ever, really, on a midterm. So hopefully it's in the favor of to keep that guy in check. And the guy I'm talking about is Trump, because he is just again, in my opinion, not a leader. All this controversy wouldn't be happening if he was actually just, lead the country. A leader can't just say, oh, come on, unite. Well, what is that? That means nothing. You have to show by example. You have to lead. It's like leading 101. BBC, Americans vote in key election for Trump. The vote will change the makeup of Congress and reveal how Americans view Trump's presidency. So hopefully people are getting out there, and I think it's the youth that's going to make the difference. That's what I think. That's what most people think. MSNBC, Trump makes it all about himself ahead of midterms. Oh, that's an easy headline. I could have came up with that headline. Of course, it's all about himself. It's always all about himself. He's got the ego the size of the fucking moon. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible leader, in my opinion. Moving on to ESPN. They have the power rankings. We'll do the top 3 power rankings today. We have a new one at top, and that is the New Orleans Saints have now topped the power rankings with Kansas City Chiefs in second, and rounded out the top 3 is the Rams. And then, of course, 4 is the Patriots, and 5 are the Chargers. Another little interesting there in sports is ex-defensive tackle Floyd, I forget his first name, from the Vikings, is suing some doctors for $180 million for screwing up his knee during not a routine surgery, but surgery where they did some extra stuff and screwed up his knee where he couldn't play again. So there you go. $1 million. Moving over to the T to the M to the Z. Little Axon. I still struggle with addiction. Demi and Max scared me. And they have a picture of this guy's 22-year-old guy. What the fuck is this guy thinking, Little Axon? He's got tattoos all over his face. He's 22 years old. I don't even know what to say, but I'm just going to move on from that. And here's this one just came up because this wasn't here earlier. But we're going to go with this one because it just popped up here. Ex-pro boxer Mario Mello, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, I haven't, chokes to death at a croissant eating contest. He fought Margaret. Wow, light heavyweight died Sunday after choking on dough during a croissant eating contest in Argentina. Wow, there you go. Holy moly! I don't know what to say about that. Move over to travel leisure news. Just a couple things here. If you think you've had a bad trip, like a long journey, delays, and blah blah blah, well, passengers on British Airways flight 7 from Orlando to London endured an excruciating 77-hour journey with delays and stuff like that. 77 hours. Whew. Another little travel tip, because I do this too. I take some Xanax before I board a plane just for to mellow me out, help me sleep. Well, this man with his family, they did a little layover in Montreal or Quebec, somewhere in Canada, before they were going to Cuba. He decided to take a sleeping pill, and he actually fell asleep before the plane took off, and the stewardesses were trying to wake him up, which I didn't know they even had to do that. I thought I've seen all kinds of people sleep before the takeoff, but apparently they tried to wake him up, couldn't wake him up, took him out the plane, checked him out in the terminal with medical people, and anyways, he missed the plane. But yeah, so there you go. I don't even know what to say about that one. That's going to end it for this kind of just an election day Tuesday here in November 2018. Go out there and vote. And again, I can't tell you who to vote for or what to vote for. Just go out there and vote. I think that's the main thing. Is go out there and vote. Don't be misled by other people. Just do your own investigating. If you don't know, go with your gut feeling. Always go with your gut feeling. That's the thing. Maybe yeah. Anyways, so on that note, we're going to go with our little deal from Facebook. This is from a repost from the Facebook page, The Mind Unleashed. And it's simple like this. It says, leadership is not about being the best. Leadership is about making everyone else better. So Mr. Trump, please read this, take notes. There's so many other things to be a leader, but here's one of them. You're not making people better, in my opinion. You're dividing this country more and more. And again, just saying we should unite. That doesn't make everything better. That doesn't, people are just like, oh, wow, you just said unite. Come on, people, let's unite. No, sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Trump. It does not work that way. But anyways, please subscribe to my channel, the Common Sense Messages and Talk Show here on YouTube, and we will see you on Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday. So again, go out there and vote, and let's make America great again.